I'm a local boy. I haven't played in a Sheffield derby, and I've been involved in 6 derbies now, so I understand the emotion of every one of them and how hard they are in terms of the build-up and everything. I feel it, I breathe it, everything regarding it. So totally understand. Knew what was going to happen today, understood it, knew how the game would go, but I think I spoke to the players before about a moment where 2016, surprisingly, which you might understand, Dan, I was in a pub and I was watching Hull City versus Sheffield Wednesday, and I just got the job at Sheff United, and for 6 years we were in League One, and I'm watching all these fabulous players sign for Sheffield Wednesday, and I'm Sheffield boy, and I watched in the 90s when Wads and Shez and Hursty, and they're all ripping it up and they're signing all these players, and we were nowhere. We were nowhere, and the feel was quite derogatory towards us as a football club, pub league, and this, that, and the other. It was they're in that little corner. Don't worry about them. They're not coming back from that. And it was a big moment when the boy from Hull stuck it in the top corner. It's a big moment. And I said to a couple of pals, if Wednesday win today, they're possibly 10, 15, 20 years ahead of us. Because the chairman, who gets grief, had put absolutely everything into the players, and they signed some fabulous players, Forestieri, Barry Bannon, who's a good player by the way, and he loves his club, and I get that, and he don't like us. I love my club, and it's vice versa. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. I think he's a fabulous player, puts everything on the line, and he's the heartbeat of Sheffield Wednesday. And for him to be playing 400 games and playing at 35, that's top that. And I see him what he does and what he does off the pitch and whatever. I'm all over that. There's a respect there. So yeah, going back on terms of all the players that they signed, and we were there and we were watching, and Hull won. Wednesday were in the same division. We got 100 points, put a little bit of pride back into the shirt, and then the next season we're playing in the same league, and then it starts. The journey starts. Started that League One campaign, and it started, and I wanted us to dominate the city. How long it would take? Because it didn't happen because of money. You know, for us to get out of the division, we had to sell. Dominic. I had to sell Che. We had to sell Rammers. So we didn't get out of the division by buying us way out of the division. We didn't get out of the Championship. So that season, there, long story. The season there, where we put a little bit of pride coming here on that day, big for us, gave the supporters something to hang on to, a little bit more, and then the season afterwards, didn't do it by checkbook, and obviously Sheffield Wednesday, I know that there's living in the city, and listen, it's not my club, but chairman's put a lot of dough into the football club to try and get them out of the division. So we started that journey, the first season. Second season, we sold players. We had the 13th, 14th highest budget in the division, and we finished second. So it can be done. A team finishes, that's and the division at the time, some big clubs in the division, to finish second in that division. Then we had the season in the Premier League. So the money that we've earned it the hard way. It's not been given to us. So we're starting that, not domination, because it'll swing back. It'll swing back in. It might be 5 years. It might be 2 years. It might be 5 years. It might be 10. Whatever it is. But it'll swing back because it has done for the past 125 years or whatever it is, 130 years, and it'll swing back because that's how it's always been. But we were there, and they were there. So we tried to adjust it a little bit and try and put a bit of pride back in the shirt. And then we went up into the Premier League, and then we've been down, but we've earned money. So we had the right to whatever we do with the money to be where we are. And I wanted us to have the best team, high standing in the division, best academy, best ground, best training ground. Bought a new training ground now. Now we've got owners that are coming in that have seen us as, you know, there's life in us. There's a future in Sheffield United. So it's a great time to be a Sheff United fan. So that was a talk that I put to the players today, and you can be part of that journey, because there's been players that have been part of that journey, and I've been part of that journey, and Ecky's been part of that journey, and there's going to be other players being part of that journey. But wanted to dominate the set with 31 points clear of the opposition. We haven't done it by just bashing it up to, who are we bashing it up to? Callum O'Hare and Ryan Brewster, and bashing it up. So we're here to win. We're here to win. And we've won another tight Sheffield derby. Hasn't been luck, hasn't been fortune. We didn't come here expecting it to be a slow start, because I've been in football a long time. It was going to be a fast start, it was going to be a direct start, and it was a big start from them, and we got through that. Then we got control back of the game. We made a few poor decisions just after half time, but we win games of football. We're on 82 points. 82 points after 38 games. Sheffield Wednesday on 51. Their season's done. Ours is still alive. So those supporters that had bets with Sheffield Wednesday fans in the summer about who'll finish highest, I hope you've cashed in and go and enjoy your winnings with 31 points clear of them. So that's quite big. So there's a lot of things that I'm talking about there. So then you go on to my responsibility and how proud I am to manage the club, and my responsibility, and it weighs heavy on me, no doubt about it, with me 24/7, and today was a big game for us all. And it's amazing, we weren't even thinking about going joint top of the division today. We weren't even, it wasn't in our head, it was, you have the opportunity of doing a Sheffield double. A Sheffield double. So I've won a Sheffield double, I've been part of that. And somebody else will come in. Somebody else will come into my job 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the time, and hopefully they continue the start for the last 7 or 8 years. But it might change, because Sheffield Wednesday, something might happen and they might come again. So it's part and parcel. So when I enjoy it, I didn't enjoy it for a long time. And no Sheffield United fans didn't enjoy it, Dan. You were there. Didn't enjoy it. We were ridiculed. What was I called? I was called a Meadowhall League manager, and Carlos was called a Champions League manager when we beat him 4-2. And Meadowhall League manager, LMA manager of the year I got, and I've had 5 promotions, and we're on course in the mix against unbelievable opposition at the top of the division to try and get a 6. We might not do it, but we put ourselves in a good position. So a lot, but when I went for a run this morning, cleared my head at 5:30, 6 o'clock or whatever daft time it was, just to get out of the house, and the sun was shining. I'm running around Sheffield and I'm thinking, all I'm thinking about is winning a game of football today. And we've won a game of football, and we've got a lovely habit. No matter what anybody says about how we play or this, that and the other, we've won a game of football. And the opposition today would swap that in an heartbeat, an absolute heartbeat, to be in the position. We haven't done it financially. Somebody's seen us 125. He must have been on transfer market and gone 125. We've earned the right for that because of the work that we've done over the past 6 years to be in that position. They'd swap it in an heartbeat.
And those players, you must be so proud, because there was a lot of emotions in the game today, weren't they? But to stand up to that and produce out there.
They feel it. You know, we're not naive enough to not to think that. You know, even if it rolls reversed and we were on 51 points in Sheffield and Sheff United and Sheffield Wednesday were on whatever 79 points, we'd have had chances here today. You know, we had chances here today at Bramall Lane or whatever it was. Rolls. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not naive enough to think that their players don't want to fight. You've got players there that are passionate. Winders, Barry Bannon, he'd have been into them. We've seen it all along. All the boys, all their players. They want to win. They don't want to be in a losing side. They don't want to be known as a team that's lost two games in a season. So the manager doesn't. He don't want to be in charge of a team that's lost, that's had a Sheffield double done over him. So we knew what the passion was going to be. And I'm a Sheff United fan, but all from the same area. the feeling and the emotion in the ground at Bramall Lane would have been exactly the same as what it was today, for their players, for our players. I remember back in 88 or 89 when Wednesday came and they were top of the division, and Chris Woods and Ron Neeson and Shez and Nursty and all the players, and United won 2-0. So the emotion of that. So I understood they would have chances. But I thought we controlled the game just after that 20-minute period. Created not a great deal, but had control of the game and had the game where we wanted it to be. We just needed to find that little bit of quality. And from the quality of the players that we have bought, that we have the right to buy by doing what we've done over the last 8 years. So there's a bit of a theme to him. So the flip side of it, so off the back of that, and then they're going to chuck everything at you late on. We understand that. We'd have done exactly the same, but we've defended well enough. Their best threats are the attacking threats. We've got a clean sheet. We've got decent players at the top of the pitch, and we found a moment, and we win, and we all walk away happy.
It's actually about big players. We'll talk about Ryan's magic moment in a minute, but Cooper at the other end as well, you mentioned him there, some big saves, key moments.
Yeah, first half, the save I would expect him to make. Second half, he's palmed one out and he missed an opportunity. Like I said, I'm not naive enough not to think that we're going to have to suffer today. But they've not taken their chances, or chance 1, 2. And we've had a couple of others first half. You know, Harrison has a good chance that he should score from. You know, Ryan has an header really that he should do better with. Pretty much similar situation. Smith, I think, first half, and Ryan's first half. Ben goes through and drags his shot wide. So it wasn't ever going to be a game that's going to be fast flowing, free flowing, loads of chances. They bashed it up to Smith. We dealt with it. They bashed it on Harry Souttar's head in the home game. They bashed it onto Smith's head at here, and we've had to deal with it and got a result.
Yeah. I think if you asked United fans before the game, someone's going to score the winner today, who would you want it to be? Ryan would have probably been the overwhelming.
I would have wanted him to.
Yeah.
I talked to Jack yesterday. I'd love Ryan to get in the goals tomorrow. Been through a lot, but hopefully all the hard work that he's put in. He never wanted to be injured. He's, you know, he came with a fee. It was a difficult first season for him, COVID, and us having a struggle. Even though a lot of those games in that league that season for us, defeats was single goal. I think it was 14 single goal defeats. And Ryan's had a difficult time here. So any example for young players to keep going and you get your moment if you keep working hard and keep your head down and keep focused. And I'm delighted for him, and everybody connected to our club should be.
It's finally that 6 away wins on the spin since the first time since 1890 something, I think it is. What's the secret? We've got good quality. You can't win the most amount of games in division by being a lucky team. We're an effective team. We mix it up. If we have to go long, we have to go long. We have to control. I think some nonsense about us before, and about Southampton and Leicester and Ipswich. Ipswich had 3 years to build, 3 or 4 years to build, and got in a rhythm and were great. Southampton spent over 100 million to get into the Premier League. Then obviously came down and then stayed in the Premier League, being an established Premier League club. Leicester should never have been in the Championship. People like Jamie Vardy and all those guys, you know. So our build is 7 months. It's a 7 months build. Not spent big in the summer. You know what happened. We've not spent big in the summer. We got parity. We earned the money in terms of the money that we raised in the summer from selling Bogle, for selling Trustee, for selling other players. And the owners saw it as a good short, medium and long-term investment into signing a 21-year-old. So we are within budget. We don't overspend. We're not a club that is financially struggling. They backed me in January. Should have happened at the start of the season, but we're in a position because we've earned the right to be in the position. I think that's 7 wins out of 9. 1 loss against Leeds and Tuesday night, which we're disappointed with.
So we've got a massive 8 games against some big teams. Everybody's got a lot to play for. Teams at the bottom have got a lot to play for. We've got a lot to play for. Teams at the top have got a lot to play for. Teams that are trying to get into the playoffs. But we've come here and got a result. We'll have a break. We'll have a rest. And we've got an absolute crackerjack game against Coventry, who have done outstandingly well under Frank since he's been here. And we've got to enjoy it, embrace it, and see where it takes us. Minimum is we've got the playoffs. Maximum is we all know what the prize there is for everybody.
And Rian's obviously got a contract to play for. I mean, what will this do for him in terms of his finish to the season?
Yeah, big finish. We trusted him to play today. I should imagine that was maybe from the outside, why is Rian playing? But I thought it was a game for him, and I thought it was good. He linked play well. He found pockets. When they tried to press us first half, after the first 20 minutes, we broke the lines really well and played. Just didn't find that final pass, but yeah, he's got a lot to play for, as we all have. There's a hell of a lot to play for as a football club, whether individually or whether as a group.
He made such a difference coming on Tuesday. Did you just see signs that he was? Well, obviously you thought he was.
No, I've got to say I picked the team before. We've got before Tuesday for today. We're battling still some issues, as we know. Femi's not played a lot of football. Anel was touch and go today. Vinny never made it. Tom Davis never made it. But everybody's got the injuries, so it's not an hard luck story. But we've had to manage minutes. We had to manage minutes on Tuesday night with Rob Holding, with Femi. But we've come through it. 4 points, out the last 2 games is a good effort. This was always going to be an incredibly tough. I should imagine everybody be looking at that and going, wouldn't be surprised. I think the bookies had Sheffield Wednesday down as favourites. I should imagine a lot of teams would say potentially a draw, and maybe only us thought we could come here and win. So that's our thought process today. We came to win, and we've ended up winning a tight game.
And how proud are you of the guts your lads have got to consistently win tight games?
Well, it's not like, there's loads of tight games, isn't there? There's not many games in the division that are absolutely 3-4 and 5-0, especially at this stage of the season.
You've won more games by 1 goal margin than Burnley and Leeds put together, and they're 2 very good sides.
Yeah, they are. They're outstanding sides, and there's a lot of good teams at the top of the division. There's a lot of good teams that are trying to get into the division, trying to get into the playoffs. A lot of teams that have been in the Premier League said all along, Stu. Your Norwiches, your Norwiches and your West Broms and your other teams, and there's some teams that are spending a lot of dough to try and get into that group as well. So, them coming off the back of 2 wins, which would have buoyed them. Everything was against us today in terms of that, but we kept our cool. We didn't do a lot of talking. I did a lot of listening this week. I did a lot of observing after Tuesday night. I was delighted with the place that we were in, even when I talked to them this morning. I thought I trained ever so well over the last couple of games, and they really wanted to come here and get a result. And football isn't about anybody's journey individually, manager's journey individually. It's about winning games of football. We're here to win. Everybody wants to see a winning side, in my point of view. And I think maybe things have drifted a little bit. Style and this, that and the other or whatever, but we've won games of football, and we've got to win some more between now and the end of the season.
Chris, because you live in the city, is it going to be quite nice these next few days when you're bumping into fans of both clubs, knowing you've got the bragging rights? I saw there were some Wednesday fans giving you a bit of stick as you walked up to the end there. You've got the bragging rights now, haven't you?
Yeah, listen, as I just said there, they didn't give us stick when we were in 2016. I don't think they knew who we were. But, I think they know who we are now. So that ramps up. They had the welcome committee out for me this afternoon, this dinner time, outside the players' entrance. So I understand it. They love their club. I love my club. It's as simple as that. I've got best pals who are Sheffield Wednesday fans. I'm going to meet in pals. I'll meet half a dozen pals now, wherever we go. The lad that I know come and give me a big hug afterwards, who's a massive Sheffield Wednesday fan.
So yeah, when I went on the run, nearly got knocked over a few times. I don't know whether it was me not looking for traffic or you were trying to wipe me out early on. But I managed to dodge a couple. But that's how it is. They're passionate. They want the team to do well. I want my team to do well. And as I said, I've got respect for Barry Bannon. He loves his club. You know, he loves Sheffield Wednesday. I love Sheff United. There's nothing in that. There's nothing in that. As long as it doesn't go over the thing, and it has gone over the thing. It has gone over the thing recently. It happens at Sheff United. It goes over the boundaries. It's happened here. You've seen it. It goes over the boundaries. But you know, we want to win. We all want to win. And if we were on the receiving end of a draw or a loss today, it was going to be on top. But it isn't. I enjoyed it with my supporters, and I know we've still got a long way to go if we want to achieve our ultimate goal.
Talking about going over the boundaries, Chris, it looked like a firework got thrown at the players as they were celebrating after the goal. I take it no one was hurt, obviously, but was that a moment of concern for you to see something like that?
I think, you know, whether if that had been at our place, it'd have been a moment of concern, of course. You know, I think there was a lot of things happening, of course. A lot of things happening in the home game, a lot of things happening in the away game. A lot of things happen at derbies. You see it. It's Everton, Liverpool, Rangers, Celtic, Man City, Man United. These things happen. It's difficult for people to control their emotion because they're that passionate about their team and about their club and about their results. So, as I just said, you know, things have gone over the line, you know, recently, and the authorities need to try and do what they need to do to it. But if it happened at our place, you know, I wouldn't have been, you know, we would have been condoning it as well. So this is how it is. It's a passionate sport, and but we have to make sure that we're in the boundaries.
Chris, you made reference a couple of times to Danny's pre-match, and obviously you need no added motivation for a day like today. But did it sort of give you a bit more between the team?
I thought he was factually wrong on a couple of things. It's about the first goal. I think we're fourth in the division regarding that. So I think he was wrong about how we play. We're a direct team. I think he was wrong about a couple of things on it. So he's got every right to do that. I thought he was wrong in his assessment of the last time about that they should have got a draw or win. And no doubt he'll be saying that they got a draw and got a win, but they haven't got a draw and they haven't got a win. They got beat twice. He's got beat twice. It's wrong about being direct team. We've got Callum Aware, we've got Gus Amer, we've got Tyrese Campbell. We're an effective football side. If teams press us, we'll miss the press out. If teams sit off us, we'll play and dictate the game. We try to play, we try to build from the back. There's all different ways of winning games, football, round over or through. So teams have got to find a way, and we've found 26 ways to win games of football or whatever it is. So this is how it is. You know, I've got no issue. I've got no issue with it. You know, I knew that they'd be chewing after the first game, and they want to rectify that result and that performance to get a win, because you know, I've been here. I've been here in the 80s. It's an absolute cauldron when it gets going, and it was for the first 20 minutes. And I said it when we won 4-2. That moment Jow scored, it was absolutely unreal, the noise. So the emotion and the noise and the push that the supporters give the players is huge. So we were up against not only a team that's on a decent run, a team that's got a lot of good players, and 30,000 that wanted blood today. So I accept it and get on with it. And they might have got it, but they didn't. And we have to enjoy it and rest and move on.
He's obviously a young manager. It's his second derby. Do you sort of appreciate the attempt at mind games, or do you not?
Well, he shouldn't. I don't think he should sort of start mind games when he's not won anything. You know, when he's a young manager. You know, he obviously got a lot of acclaim and a lot of praise for the job that he did at the start of the season. None from me in my press conference. I'm not sure he respected us in terms of his press conference, but he can say anything. So I was a little bit more quieter than usual. Said a lot of good things about, because there was a lot of good things when they were down. Should have Sheffield Wednesday been in that position with the players that they've got at the start of the season when Danny took over? Absolutely not, because they had some really good players, and he's resurrected it and got them on a roll. yeah, and won games. I didn't. That wasn't a piss take. I don't know. I was desperately trying to find another word for it. Momentum, and you know they're gonna end up a mid-table team. So I'm not sure that I would have been doing what he did, but you know he'll possibly say that about sort of what happened in the home game. That was, I've got to say, a reaction to a few things off the back of that. But there we go. We all say things now and again. We all do daft things now and again, and we have to own it. But for me, the proof's in the pudding. You know, from my point of view, the team now has 6 tight games, and we've won 3 and drawn 3, and we've done a double over our fiercest rivals. So when you go and see all our punters wherever they are tonight, whether they're on London Road or wherever they are in the city, then you know they'll just want to enjoy the moment and move on and be very proud of the team.